everyone. I am your host and author, Stevie Jo, and welcome back to another episode of The Composition of Imagination. With me, as always, are two of my book guardians, Superman and Tasha, and we are wrapping up our Murmurs of Mur County discussion on Aezra from In the Beginning, the very first book in the Angel of Death series. So,
climactic is definitely the term.
Let's just jump on in here. The next time we see Aezra in the first book is chapter 16. He's at the Devil's Fountain. So to give you just a really quick background on what led to this, because it is important to know. CJ was at the Devil's Fountain with Sky for her unwanted bachelorette party. Long story short, CJ has a crush on Aezra. And she thinks Sky is a tramp, her words, for treating him the way she does. And after cock-blocking Sky in her attempt to have an affair with Elias, CJ goes back to the Devil's Fountain to hunt for her own prey. Hypocrite much? So, you know, some girls just never give up their bad boy phase, I guess. I don't know why she likes him.
I don't know why she was even invited. That's the thing. I
can't answer because Peyton and her are childhood friends. At this stage, they're still amicable.
Okay.
They haven't quite fallen out
I
yet.
never understood that because I know they work together.
Yeah.
Spoiler people.
Yeah.
But I knew they worked together, but I always thought that she was like the oddball.
Yeah. They were
with the rest of the group.
So that's why Jared is still alive, her father, because he's a zombie. And the reason he's still alive is because of Noel, because Peyton and CJ grew up together, so Noel got to know Jared and was like, no, he's a person. He's good.
He's good.
He's a good egg. He just has a shitty condition. That's, so that's why.
That's a hell of a way to put it.
Yeah. So in chapter 16, Aezra sees CJ at the Devil's Fountain, and he allows her to sit with him at the bar to have a drink. CJ, just being blunt as ever, asks, why did you choose Skylar? And Aezra's response is that he loves her. That's his answer. And he even reflects that has to be his answer. His answer has to be the I love her card, because the truth would send up a red flag, and he didn't want CJ waving it everywhere for Sky to see. So he even admits that it's a knee-jerk reaction. CJ kind of sees through it and doesn't buy that answer. She starts laying it on thick and sleazy, claiming to know all about the sanguine species. And Aezra says something a little revealing for us here. He says he guarantees CJ doesn't know him like she thinks she does. What does that mean? Because he's such a one-trick pony. What more depth could there be to this guy?
CJ thinks that he hangs the moon and stars.
Okay. That's really poignant. Yes.
So she's not going to see anything negative with him if that's what she thinks.
Yeah.
She thinks that he is the entire world. Nothing could be wrong with this guy.
And even if it's wrong, it's not wrong.
It's not
like
that wrong.
She can overlook it.
Yeah,
it's like
again, the bad boy phase.
It is.
Like,
it's the I know he sleeps around with other women, but he doesn't bring them home here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He comes back to me at the end of the day.
Yeah. She will overlook whatever flaws or red flags.
Yeah.
Because she's attracted to him.
But we don't know enough about Aezra to be able to say, well, we know he's had a long life.
Yeah.
Well, when did that life start?
That's a good question.
And so he could be one of the originals. Maybe the first descendant of the originals.
Okay. So the main thing I'm hearing is that regardless of if Aezra really does have more depth, we don't, know enough, And 2, it doesn't matter to CJ because
she's trying to get
want to
laid.
jump
That's
his
all she
bones no
cares.
matter what.
Yeah.
So
If I can get a chance with this, I don't
Yeah.
care what
Okay.
I'm sacrificing, what humiliation I gotta go through. I'm getting this done tonight.
okay. So Aezra's hint of danger, whatever that may be, does not get through CJ's thick skull.
No, she could drown a child in her panties.
Exactly. So she claims she can give him what Sky won't and kisses him. Aezra tries to push her away, but doesn't try that hard because he does like the way. I know, like
Stop.
that's it. No,
Please.
stop, don't, please, no. Oh, damn, it's happening. You know?
I'm the victim here.
Yeah,
She came on to me. I told her no.
yeah. At least I said no.
But she didn't listen.
So he ends up taking CJ back to his place where they proceed to canoodle and she lets him feed from her and all the things he promised Skylar he wouldn't do, he does.
Oh, no.
In one night!
Yep. And now I do want to clarify, he does not perform the BLE with her. It's literally just, I would like some sustenance now, thank you, is how he's doing it. Well, here's the question. Do you think Aezra is rebelling against Sky, kind of out of frustration and
No.
hunger?
Oh, hell no.
Or do you think he's taking her words at face value, so when she says, don't feed from anyone else until I've made my choice, well, she made a choice. Even if the choice was in his favor, technically, she did make one. So,
No.
No.
so why do you think he's doing this?
Because he can. I mean, well,
He's a dude.
yeah, he can.
This girl is
Because-
literally throwing herself at him. And at the end of the day, he's gonna do what a dude does.
Okay.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how quote unquote committed he is or anything, he's gonna do something stupid. Just because
Okay.
it's stroking his ego.
Okay.
Okay, I'll agree with that part. Yeah, she's stroking his ego and other things.
Yeah, she is.
But no, because he doesn't give a shit about Skylar. So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
And he thinks that she's not going to find out.
Yeah.
So if
I
she
think
doesn't
that's
know,
so
then why-
hilarious that his idiotic narcissism is so bad
Mm-hmm.
that he doesn't think that she's gonna find out.
Mhm.
Knowing CJ is gonna be there
Yeah.
at the wedding, and she's
And
gonna
this
be
is why
running.
guys get caught.
Well, that
They
too,
fuck
but
the best friend. Yet
she's gonna be with bells on. Check out what I
Yeah.
did and stuff.
Which that is really surprising that Aezra would be like, you know what? Yeah, I can get away with it with this girl of all girls. Like you had to. That
But,
wasn't.
I mean,
even,
maybe he thought Peyton would sit there and grab her and put her in a chokehold and drag her off.
like that wasn't
No.
even like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. That was a 1 degree of Skylar. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't move farther out of the circle.
I know.
So, Aezra's feeding frenzy from CJ does not stop at that night. So this is a multiple hit affair.
Right.
When he gets to the church the next day for his wedding, which is also coincidentally the next chapter that he's in, he and CJ have another little sexual blood romp in the church offices. Eva is there to confront him right afterward, although she doesn't entirely know what just happened. All she knows is no one has heard from him all day. And this is the first that someone's been able to see him, because it is, on this, the day of Skylar's wedding. So, Aezra claims that he's late getting there because he was at the jeweler's getting their wedding bands. Yeah, whatever. So, Ava informs him that Sky is freaking out and that she didn't know where he was. And when he tries to go to her, Ava's like, nah, dude, no. I will tell her you're here. You just go wait at the altar. It's fine. So while waiting for the ceremony to begin, Aezra is greeted by Noel one more time, and Noel continues to be that big Papa Bear that we grow to love in this series. Noel tells Aezra that if he hurts Sky, Aezra will be struck dead by the heavens. Aezra doesn't respond, but he does think to himself a couple things. First of all, he thinks Noel is very clever for backing him into a corner on his wedding day because he can't make a scene about it and fight back. And Aezra reminds himself that God abandoned him a long ass time ago. What do you think that means for Aezra's backstory? Why would he have that conviction?
Oh, because, well, he's been around, and like I said, he might be one of the descendants of the first descendant.
Okay.
Of the original.
Okay.
Sanguise, vampire, original thing. Yeah.
So you think that...
You know, the ones that started the whole species.
So you think that his outlook on, well, God abandoned me a long time ago, is like more of a cynical, like, I've been there.
I've been down that road. Yeah. It's all BS.
Which would track for his character, right? He's cynical and douchey. So
you almost expect him to always have a black jacket on. And, you know, have sunglasses on just because he's that douchey. You know what I mean?
He's not cool enough to be a Lost Boy. Like
Well, wait. No, Lost Boys, they were cool.
Yeah. Because that's what I think of every time when someone says, like, vampire creature with glasses and... So Aezra stands at the altar alone while he waits for his blushing bride to come marching down the aisle. And boy, does she come marching. Business is about to pick up, folks. The next thing we know, Sky is dragging CJ by the hair and literally throwing her at Aezra's feet. She accuses him of feeding off of CJ, and Aezra begs her, baby, let me explain. But Sky is not having it. She's done. D-U-N done. And she breaks the glass in all the windows of the church and damn near burns the church down. The only thing that stops her is Elias, and he has her go wait in his car outside so he can deal with Aezra himself. And this is the start of a very interesting relationship between these two men. One that I really enjoy exploring throughout the series. So, Eli and Aezra are alone in the church. Eli calls Aezra his old friend and accuses him of avoiding him for the last few years. Aezra doesn't feel up to playing Eli's games and just tells him, move or I'll rip you apart. Like, that's okay. But Eli is ready to feed Aezra to the wolves and stating that he's gonna die the miserable death that he should have been given centuries ago. Mm-hmm. When Aezra tries to attack Eli for saying that, Eli stabs him in the chest with a shard of glass, much the same way Sky did in Chapter 8, even going so far as to say, next time I won't miss, because he did intentionally miss.
Both times?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, next time I won't miss. No, why is there a next time?
You keep giving him chances. Yeah. So, what do you think Aezra did to make Eli wish he would have been killed centuries ago?
The world wonders on that. Probably took a good friend and, you know, used it for a plaything.
Okay.
Maybe a family member. Who knows?
Okay. What do you think their relationship was like all those years ago?
I mean, Elias comes across as, you know, real, almost like studious about how he handles things and stuff. But based off his appearance and stuff, you can tell he had a bad boy phase at one point.
Okay.
So probably during that time, they probably ran in the same circles.
Okay.
And Elias realized how far he was falling that, or he did something that just went too far,
Yeah.
got his ass handed to him, and said, I can't do this anymore. I've got to straighten up, fly right. Aezra's like, oh, you're a loser, dude. I'm going to keep going.
Do you think there was ever a point where they were actually friends, or is Elias calling him old friend just as a, a thing that someone says to kind of dig at you?
I think maybe at one point they were, but that was centuries ago. Like now it's more of a dig.
Okay. So it's that little...
It's sort of like, gotta reference it because it's just too good not to. Kirk and Khan from Star Trek 2, when they talk to each other, it's like, my old friend.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they hate each other and try to kill each other, they go, old friend.
Yeah.
That's how I look at Elias and Aezra.
And at some point, those kinds of rivalries do kind of become a weird friendship. Not in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
But the codependency, the frenemies, the codependency of, well, if I didn't have this asshole to always try to kill, what would I have? Like, what's...
Sky.
Yes. But the way that it's looked at right now, when neither of them have her right now.
Blessed Implosion, 5th in the Angel of Death series, now available at steviejoauthor.com.
So, the last chapter that we see Aezra in is chapter 19. Aezra comes barreling into Eli's driveway with his big truck. It collides with Eli's Porsche, and we all mourn the loss of a very expensive sports car. CJ is with him, but we kind of get the feeling she forced him to let her come along, because he really does not show that he wants her there, but he doesn't have time to convince her to stay behind. Like, I gotta go.
I don't give a damn. Get in the car.
Yeah, if you're coming, get in, because we gotta go. So Chloe Jo is now a liability that he has to claim responsibility for. And I think we can all agree that claiming responsibility is not necessarily Aezra's strength.
No.
So between exploding cars, massive openings in the Earth's crust, and magic being used all over the place, this chapter is one climactic battle where I know we're all just anxiously awaiting Aezra's demise. We're like, he's gonna die, he's gonna die.
Oh no, I knew going into it, there was no way he was gonna die, because it's the first book.
Yeah.
You don't introduce a character like that and then just kill it off.
Yeah.
Can't you?
I mean, you can. You can.
If you're doing a 2-book story, yeah, you could. But if you're doing multiples, that strong a character, you can't necessarily kill off that quickly.
Yeah.
As much as we want to, but that's the strength of the writing. Is that you really want this character dead.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna happen.
He is needed. Believe it or not, he is needed. But for now, Eli is taunting Aezra, and Aezra realizes that he himself has gotten weak over the centuries, while Elias managed to stay strong, and that only serves to add fuel to Aezra's fire, so to speak. Fuel fire. Ha ha ha. Aezra clumsily tries to make Sky believe that he never meant to hurt her, and she's not prey, and please trust me, all those things that you say that someone like that says whenever they're caught, basically.
It wasn't me, I swear.
Yeah, the Eddie Murphy. It wasn't me. Maybe it wasn't you.
Yes, I fucked her, but I make love to you.
Yeah, that's what, honest to God, when I was writing that, that's all I could think of was Eddie Murphy raw. Being like, yes, all right, yes, I fucked her.
Yes,
but I make love to you. Well, maybe it wasn't you.
Maybe it wasn't you then.
But Skylar is not that dumb.
Thank God.
Yeah. So Eli brings up the legend, to your point from earlier. He brings up the legend of the original Sin Sanguise. prompting Skye to flat out ask, "Oh my God, are you the fucking original Sin Sanguise?" And Aezra totally ignores the question, choosing to threaten Elias instead. Why take the bait that Eli was clearly laying out for him? Why not just answer Skye's question, even if he lies? Isn't that better than avoiding it? Because avoidance can be perceived as truth.
No, because in his mind, he can't do that.
No?
No, because then that's showing a sign of weakness, whether he lies or he tells the truth.
I think he is the original. He just doesn't want to say it.
Okay.
I really do think he's like...
He is the original Sin Sanguise, not like a descendant, but he is the one.
I think he is one. That's why he's so cocky, because why do I have to say anything?
So what implications does that have on Skylar now, especially with how we know this ends, like for her future?
Yeah, it's not good.
Tangling with an original Sin Sanguise, like...
And I think that's why she wanted to... That was another reason why she asked, like, are you the original?
How hard is it going to be to get out of this shit?
Yeah.
Well, the other half of it is that's when she should have realized there was something about her
That's true.
that he needs.
That's true.
Because he doesn't have access to anymore. Because over the centuries, like you said, he got weak.
Yeah.
You know, heaven forbid a narcissist realizes he's weak. You know.
Yeah.
But
and maybe that's the only powers he has, is pushing her up against the wall. Because isn't it said that if you don't use it, you lose it type thing? Mm-hmm. Well, maybe since he's the original...
He's so lazy that he lost all the other powers.
Yeah. Yeah, and that could be. That really could be. So at this point, Skye has had enough. When Aezra attacks Elias, she intervenes and strikes his ass down with lightning so that he's paralyzed on the ground for a little bit. Was that the moment that Noel foreshadowed in the church when he said Aezra would be struck down by the heavens? Or is Noel unknowingly alluding to something that's yet to come that not even you guys know about?
Could be both.
Yeah. Okay.
But definitely
like this was
the
a precursor.
lightning. Yeah. But the lightning coming down was a pretty good touch, except if it had been me, I'd have kept it. Bam! Bam! He would have been laying there, and he would have been lighting up like a neon sign, because I would have hit him with so many bolts. And I would have made sure one of them was one of those really long bolts that when it hits, it just sits there and just keeps going, so he'll feel it.
So Eli comes over to Aezra at that point with the diamond, the rejected diamond, in his hand. It is Skye's official letter of rejection, and the men share another interesting moment filled with very cryptic conversation. Elias informs Aezra that his invitation to be around Skye has been revoked, and that Elias has earned himself a standing invitation. Aezra's anger attempts to boil over, but he's still unable to move because she really did do a number on him. So instead, he just tells Elias that he'll haunt Elias's every move with Skylar, and he is not going anywhere because Skye will figure out what Elias is and come running back to Aezra.
Ew.
Is this some foreshadowing for a future book, or is it just idle threat from a douche?
It could be a little both. Mostly it's an idle threat. Okay. You know, that's all he can throw out. Is, I'm better than you.
I'm gonna do this if you do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she don't know you like I do. That's like his only defense. Oh, she doesn't know you like I do.
And we'll get into that defense because I've got some questions about it, but for a different book.
Yeah.
So last question. The question I'm sure that is burning everybody up. Why the hell did I let Aezra live? Because what's in it for the story and for you, the reader? What could you stand to gain? I know we touched on it a little bit, but what could you possibly stand to gain?
Because he's an antagonizer. I mean, he sits there and brings drama to the story. You know, you think he's gone, and then he just kind of creeps right back in.
Is he like herpes?
Yeah.
He's something.
Like story herpes?
He is. He's like story herpes.
Okay, we got rid of him. Fuck, he's bad.
Who hasn't been taking their medication?
He's called my doctor again.
But he does service the story as a mystery.
Yeah.
Because we don't know enough of his backstory to know. Okay, we know he's a douche-canoe.
Yeah.
But why did he become that?
Yeah.
And you know, it may go all the way back to the angels and dark angels.
Yeah.
You know, it could go that far back.
And I think that just from my perspective, looking at it, you know, for you guys, the reader, if I would have killed him with all that mystery hanging, I think it would have done you guys a disservice, because you wouldn't have really known who he is. Even though we hate him and we think he's a douche, he is.
Tasha could have won every book after book 1 and been just fine.
Yeah. But he does.
I kind of like what happened in book 4, though.
Yeah, right?
That made me happy.
He does kind of start, though, in these next couple books. He does start to kind of show some change. That concludes the overview of Aezra's personality for In the Beginning, the first book in the series. Thank you guys for contributing. Thank you guys for watching. And be sure you subscribe, that way you don't miss it, with Aezra's character in False Idols. See you then.
Catch up on the Angel of Death series today. The first 4 entries are now available directly at StevieJoAuthor.com.